Hello everyone, welcome back. I thought I'd take today to explain a little bit to you about what we're trying to do with this trailer and the underneath insulation and everything. As you saw yesterday, we removed all the skirting from around the entire trailer, pulled out a little bit of the insulation we could get to pretty easily. I was going to climb under today and finish cleaning out that insulation, but on the back side of the trailer, it still needs a little more cleaning up to do before we can be even ready to re-skirt and put new insulation in. So I thought today I'd come back here and show you kind of what's going on. So this area, you can see there's just a lot of debris, a lot of junk that I need to get rid of. This pressure tank is eventually going to get moved and the structure rebuilt. It's too close to the doorway. The door to the back is already broken, so we've ordered a new one. So I'm going to move that tank probably in a couple days. I'll get the underneath done first. But one of the other problems we've got is a bunch of planter boxes here that are just, they take up a lot of space. They're causing a lot of dirt to come in underneath where we want to build skirting boxes and stuff to go under this. So I want to get all this stuff cleaned out back in here, get these last couple pieces of insulation out from under the front of the trailer. I mean, as you can see in some of this, you know, it looks like some of the bottom of this trailer skirting boxes that were previously made are falling apart, so they're gonna have to get rebuilt. So having this area cleaned out and more accessible will help with everything. So that's what I'm gonna use the tractor today. Gonna try and clean some of this out. It's still a little frozen, but since these boxes are on the top of the ground, I have a feeling I'll be able to break them up a little bit with the backhoe and spread the topsoil around in here, clean up some of these low spots anyway, and just chuck the wood because everything's rotten. So stick around and watch and see what happens.
This backhoe is really not very big, but its small size makes it really nimble and quite nice for small projects like this. The topsoil is still frozen in blocks, but unfortunately I don't have time to wait for it to be summer so I can start these projects. For those of you who are new to our channel, I'm a contractor who spends 3 months overseas and 3 months home. I have to get my projects completed no matter what time of the year it is. Personally, I don't mind the cold, but it does make some of these projects a little more difficult. I decided to break up some of the frozen clods so that the sun could warm them up through the day. These boxes were so frozen I could use my grapple and pick them up and carry them away. The claw is adjustable so that I can pick up different sized items. Pretty handy, isn't it? There was a little sapling growing here earlier, but what I've learned with aspens is even though there's a little sapling sticking up, the root systems can be enormous. The roots expand everywhere underground and then shoot up saplings wherever they can. So I'm using the backhoe now to try to break up some of those roots and get some of this out of here.
Well, I managed to get rid of those boxes that were up against the house. Some of them had wood bottoms, so I was able to just pick them up with the bucket and just take them as one whole thing and dump them out. Other ones were laying on top of the ground like I suspected, and I had to kind of just tear apart the boxes and get rid of the wood. Again, this is still standing where the pressure tank is at. We found a cabinet online that fits a little bit bigger than it is. So I think what we're going to do is tear this down, reposition it so it's further away from the door, and then put it inside that cabinet and insulate it and heat it and all that same stuff. So you'll get to see that here in the next probably week and a half, I don't know. See how long it takes to deliver and all that. But as you can see behind, it's not it's still frozen ground, so smoothing it all out isn't really very easy yet. Obviously in the spring I can make it look a little bit nicer, but we're able to get some access underneath the building here. There is a bunch of roots in a tree here growing up from one of those aspens, and it's unbelievable how many roots and how far those roots stick out from one little tree. The tree was, you know, yay big around, but the roots were 10, 20 feet underground and sprawling all out. I'm sure they go under the trailer. I'm sure they come out to these other aspens right here behind me. You got that one there. You got that one there. So I'm sure this whole ground underneath me is just root systems for these things. They sprout up everywhere. So we'll constantly be coming back here and cutting them down so they don't get very big. Maybe it'll allow the roots to stop spreading out. I don't know. But a little bit more work to do back here. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with it being flattened out and easier to get to, so we can build these under boxes for the insulation and for the skirting. I'm not sure when that'll happen. Like I said, I may hire that out just because I don't want to cut metal to the right, lengths and widths for underneath here. I might have to wait until it's warmer so that we can actually clear the ground a little bit easier and make it an exact width all the way down through, where right now it's too frozen to really get a good clean out. So that might all happen in the spring, but at least if I can insulate it, get the vapor barrier under there, that'll help out with the heating through the rest of this winter, even though we're not really going to be living in it until next year, maybe in August or so. But at least it'll allow the little heaters that we've got for the cats that keep it, 60 degrees or 40 or 50 degrees or whatever we end up choosing. At least they'll have some kind of heat in there, and the floor will be warm and the walls will be insulated. So it'll be better than nothing. So tomorrow, if we have good enough weather like we're supposed to have, I'm gonna get underneath and tear out all that insulation now that I can see better and get under there better from both sides. So come back. I'm not looking forward to it. See you next time.